Welcome, everybody, to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. We always have kind of fun lineups on the show. You really never know what's going to happen with it. Today's lineup, the odd trio, if you had myself, Marty Mush, and Stephen Cheah in your pool picks, you win. First, Marty Mush, what's up, man? How are you?
How we doing, Mincy?
Been good. You know, a lot of stuff to get into today, and, you know, I know you've been the Round Ball podcast doing well. Big day for college basketball, and we'll get into that. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about our sponsor of Fireball. Fireball sponsors Pick Central every day. And with the end of the year approaching, things can get overwhelming fast. Whether it's work stress, visiting family for Thanksgiving, or the realization your team isn't making the playoffs, I think I've come to that conclusion. Sometimes you just need an excuse to let loose, have some fun, and spark a little bit of mischief back into your life. Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. The Fireball Party Bucket is the perfect way to spice up any watch party, tailgate, or Friendsgiving. With 20 nips in each container, it's a surefire way to take any event to the next level. This party bucket doubles as a cooler, so no need to worry about lugging that big cooler around at the house. Just remove the lid, fill with ice, and you've got 20 ice-cold nips ready to go. Plus, no shot glass needed. Just crack it, knock it back. The party bucket is really the perfect thing to help ignite any social occasion. And also, just on that note, great thing to have at these cold football game tailgates. It'll warm you up. As the #1 shot in the United States of America, Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. So free your fire with a Fireball Party Bucket for your next occasion. Stephen Cheah also joining us today. Always good to see him. Stephen, how are you?
Doing great. I am just putting out my daily NBA props. So I do one single player prop every day that NBA basketball is on. We've been doing great this season. We were 19-8. Took a loss last night, but looking to bounce back tonight.
Well, 19-8, pretty damn good percentage. Like I believe that's right at 70%.
Yep.
Like that.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Well, Stephen, thanks for joining us. We're going to get into some Barstool stuff before we get the show rolling. Few things. First of all, Stella Blue Coffee, Big Cat, launching his new coffee line, Stella, named after his dog. I am drinking the Positive Vibes Light Roast, and I got to say, I'm enjoying it. It's good stuff. And
It's a good logo.
oh, it's a great logo. You got his dog. And look, I'll be honest, I'm glad to support Stella Blue and this good coffee. I punt too much money at Starbucks anyway, you know, and I would much rather support our company, but not just am I doing it because I'm a company man. This is good stuff. I'm just trying the light roast. And also talked to Big Cat earlier. Their plans, there will be an iced coffee eventually. Obviously during winter, this probably ain't the iced coffee season. But I'm excited to support this. And, you know, you got to admire, like, Big Cat. What a smart, you know, he just, like, takes anything he does day to day and makes it into content and business. He's brilliant.
He's been tweeting about coffee for years now, just every morning. So it's perfect for him. It looks like it's legit, though. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
not
good.
like
it's not just like he's doing it because it's Barstool. This is excellent coffee, and I know he's taking it very seriously. Follow Stella Blue Coffee on Twitter and Instagram. And I
like the name, too. Like, he could have just did Big Cat's Coffee or whatever, but, like, Stella Blue is just kind of like, if you're not a Barstool fan, you might just drink it anyway, too.
Yeah, it's a cool name. It's after his dog, and you know, it's good stuff. I mean, I'm going to be drinking it every day. I'm going to certainly make the switch from Starbucks and all that to Stella Blue. And this is better coffee anyway. So, good stuff.
I will say I've been loosely involved with this project for a few months, and he has been really dedicated to, like, trying different coffee beans, coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, so the terminology is a little bit but the different grounds and different beans and things like that to really perfect the taste, and he's really proud of what it came out to.
Well, he should be because it's damn good. And check it out. Follow Stella Blue Coffee on social, and I'll be supporting this as much as I can. I believe I might be doing a coffee review of Stella Blue later too for some content. All right, Barstool College Football Show on the road. It's Maction Week. That's why Brandon and Ev aren't here. Brandon, Ev, Casey, Dave Portnoy at the Glass Bowl in Toledo. Big Cat finally get the keys to the city from when Coach Duggerton led Toledo to the national title during COVID. I believe that show is at 5:30 Eastern in Stadium Parking Lot B. Toledo hosting Bowling Green. It's a 15-point favorite on the Barstool Sportsbook tonight. But headed to the Glass Bowl, Ohio also has legalized the sports gambling. It's not there yet, but I believe January 1, the target date, the Barstool Sportsbook app will be live there. It's Maction Week. Miami versus Northern Illinois is tomorrow. Tonight, Bowling Green, Toledo, 5:30 Eastern. Tomorrow, 4:30 Central because it's in Illinois. It's Central Time. But they're on the road doing Maction Week. And so, good stuff, though, man. I love how Barstool, goes to Rutgers, goes to Maction. I like how we embrace everything.
Action's probably because I was thinking about for college basketball, we're thinking about doing a live show or something. It's like when you go to these Dukes and these Michigans and everything else, they're so big they don't really care. They obviously care about us because we're big too, but
they get shows all the time.
Yeah, they get shows all the time. If you go to fucking Dayton or a Toledo or a VCU, someone like that, those kids will fucking show everyone. The school will show up, and I think Maction Week for Barstool is going to be huge.
What else is going on Tuesday and Wednesday? And I love, props to the MAC. The MAC is so smart to embrace the midweek Maction thing. I mean, it's their own unique thing. When MAC games are on Saturday and conference games, I hate to sound like this, but nobody's watching them.
No.
On Tuesday and Wednesday night, gambling, this has become a huge thing. It's been a huge Barstool thing. I say it all the time. I wish that the Sun Belt does some on Tuesday, Wednesday. I wish the Sun Belt did this too. I heard Conference USA and their new TV rights deal is going to start having October midweek games. I think it's a very smart thing for the G5 to, seize your TV. The money's in the TV. The money ain't in the people in the stands. It's the people watching on TV and the TV rights deals, and it's also great for gambling. So,
100%.
I'm all for it. Few Barstool elements to talk to. I believe Rico is committed to coming tomorrow. I heard that. Somebody said that. Booze.
Doesn't he have?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Tomorrow. Oh, he doesn't.
He comes Thursday this week because they're on the road for the Maction stuff.
I don't know. Brandon kicked him out of the group chat, and I thought that meant he's off the show.
Okay, well, I texted him privately today, see if he was coming today, and he said he couldn't make it today. I thought he had a valid reason. I'm not calling him out on it. But he's supposedly going to try to make it tomorrow. I know that they're taping Pick'em on Thursday because that's on the road. But regardless, hope to see him. A lot of stuff to get into.
So wait, for someone on the outside, and we briefly touched on this right before the show off camera, but what is this story? I like Rico personally, but I know he's on Pick'em, of course, but he's supposed to be on this show as well. So what is going on with
his
him?
take is that his contract's coming up, and Dave said you need to do 15 blogs. And I think that he took that as he is not going to come into work. He's going to just blog from home to get the 15 blogs up. And so he cuts out his commute. And I don't know why he's not doing this.
He's in one of the boroughs.
Yeah.
Instead.
So yeah. Okay.
Steve, I don't know. I really don't know. I tried asking, but I don't know.
I guess that is one of the more annoying ones because you have to take a ferry, but
you don't know. He takes a bus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he takes the bus in usually. He doesn't. He doesn't take the ferry.
Okay.
Or he drives.
But he definitely has not been in here much lately.
Yeah, let me tell you, I have no idea. I don't even. He doesn't really answer me anymore. So.
Well, I don't really know what to say other than that he's supposedly he's going to be here tomorrow, allegedly. So.
How many blogs do you do a week? You've been picking up the blog game. You've been pretty strong.
Already goes.
Yeah, I'm top. I think I've been top 20 for the past 2 months. But yeah, he's got to. I don't know. You know how it is. It's
you. I mean.
Yeah, me. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No, not me. Definitely not me. I'm.
You know how it is. You do it.
Maybe.
I like to do a lot of it when I get home at night. I try and do the content here, and then when I get home, do 3, 4, and just hopefully they go up for the next day, and then do that. Yeah, you never know if they go up or not, but that's just what it is. But whatever he needs to do. I'd rather him be happy and not freak out. So
yeah. The GPS is going strong.
GPS is back.
Good player score.
It's
It eases simplicity.
Yeah, it's been struggling a little bit, but it's been back lately. NBA, I feel like there's ways to make money, and what you're doing definitely. Sometimes yours are hitting in the fucking third quarter.
Yeah.
Easy.
I like Steven mentioned. He's 19-8. I like what you're doing because you're being very selective. You're
extremely selective.
You're finding the one you like, and that's
how you're supposed to gamble. You're supposed to really put all your research into one thing, and he's researching all that, and then it's okay, this makes sense, and usually it's a good product.
And fire big. Whereas I've got a little of that bit. Not no one's big cat with it, where he just fires everything.
Oh,
but this weekend. Like, I started 8-0 in college football, and by the end of the day, I was like 13 or 14-9. I mean, I'm out of control.
Oh, no.
Like, completely.
I responsibly gamble, but I cannot only bet one thing. I tried doing what you did. I was like, I can't watch games.
No, that's like, I'm not. Well, you got to decide, like, are you in it to make money or are you in it for the entertainment? And I'm in it for the entertainment. And so I'll bet smaller amounts. I mean, I'll bet on it, but, bet smaller units and just watch it to enjoy. And I'm okay with that. All right,
Marty, what I will say about – sorry, go ahead, Ebo.
I was going to say, Marty, you did try, I remember, at one point doing the one bet a day on here. I think you started okay and then kind of fluttered off, no?
I got to like 3-0, I think, or 2-0. I was trying to do like 10 in a row.
Right,
yeah, and then I was trying to do the one because I said I could hit over like 65% or something if I did one a day. But then I just like would sit down and I'd be bored at night. So I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not gonna fucking do this to myself every night.
The good thing about NBA and why I'm doing this is because like I can just focus on one game. I have League Pass, so like I'll watch one game and I'll just focus on whatever. Last night was Clint Capella boards. Like I'll just focus on one thing, and it makes it wildly enjoyable because I do just track it, and then a bunch of people tail and we can interact and talk about the bet.
Well, and then follow Trust the Data on
Yes.
Twitter because that's his account for the bets. All right, let's get into a few things from last night. Monday Night Football, booze. Feel free to chime in. The Eagles no longer undefeated. They fall to 8-1, losing 32-21 at home to the Commanders. Felt like watching that game, just a game where the Eagles were just snake bit by everything. Just felt like it just wasn't your night. Definitely had some calls go against you. Never had the ball in the first half. It didn't seem like at all.
Yeah, I mean, Washington just did a really good job of like protecting the ball and having long sustained drives, and just a few bounces didn't go our way. The refs fucking choke job, but I mean, we needed a loss. We needed to be humbled,
Oh
we'll be back.
God, I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for we
needed
a
the
loss.
Mush.
You don't need a loss to the Commanders. Like you guys, all I heard was respect the Eagles. It's hard to win in this league. We were 8-0.
Yeah, but it's hard to win
is.
same team against the same team twice.
Yeah, but it's hard to win. But then it's like, well, like we're the best. Like we're the best team in the league. You're just not the best team in football. It's just a fact.
That's fine.
No, but everyone was like, I don't know if you were saying it, but
I don't know if everybody, like Smitty wasn't saying we're the best team in the league.
No, they've been saying the
We've
NFC.
all been
They've saying the NFC.
They've all been
saying the
that
NFC.
Yeah,
They've been saying the NFC.
Yeah.
The Bills. Well, the Bills. Who knows?
The Giants are one game back. It was 7-2.
What's interesting to me in the story of it, and I know people are talking about it, it's an obvious thing, but man, the upgrade from Wentz to Heineke, the freaking team, but not just as Heineke. Like, I mean, I know he doesn't have the greatest skill set. He's not like all that, but the team loves him and freaking fights for him, and you can tell it. And you look at I saw a stat last night. When Heineke starts now after the win last night, they're 10-9 in his 19 games as a starter. And since 2018, when any of the other 10 people have started at quarterback, I mean, the record was something just awful. And I think Heineke just makes him kind of believe.
I kind of compare it to your situation in the Saints. It's like you don't know what you're going to get from Heineke. You can get a really bad one. You can also get the guy who's going to be unbelievable, where what Carson Wentz is going to do at some. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to have some bad games. Same with what Andy Dalton's going to do. He's going to play very mediocre. But Jameis, you have no fucking idea what's going to happen.
Can confirm. Yeah.
I think Heineke's a little more consistent than Jameis at this point. I know he falls off some.
Yeah, he's definitely more. But I'm just saying, to compare, it's just like. You're right. Those guys get behind Heineke.
I think that there's more to the fact that the team gets behind him in the NFL, because Wentz wasn't liked in Indy last year, and he got brought in as kind of like the mercenary guy and didn't seem to work. And since Heineke came in there, I mean, they were 1-4. Now they're 5-5. They got a little juice.
You can see one of the turnovers at the end of the game. Heineke was like the first guy on the sideline, fucking going nuts, like hitting the defensive guy, where most quarterbacks are kind of by themselves talking about whatever. He's just in the game. So I could see that those guys are rallying behind him.
And that's obviously on the field too, because he's going nuts.
Yeah,
obviously that foul at the end with the late hit, but after everything, he's going crazy, which is cool to see as a fan. And I feel like most people watching that are sitting gambling on their couch would be like, that's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, did y'all see the thing with him wearing the chains, drinking the Busch Light on the plane on the way back?
It was a little awkward. He was a little. I don't think he wanted it. I think he was just like, why are we doing this?
Whatever. I thought he threw some dimes. Terry McLaurin played awesome last night too, because Darius Slay's had a spectacular year. He's been taking out number one guys. McLaurin had a really.
His over-under was 4.5 catches. I believe he had 4 in the first half.
Yeah, he did. And that ball in the third quarter that he put over his back shoulder was just,
Who would you guys have as a NFC favorite?
I still think the Eagles. I know what you mean. The Vikings are obviously high on the conversation, and the home field matters so much because Minnesota's a tough place to go win in that dome with those damn horns. I mean, that's not an easy one. But I think the Eagles still, with the head-to-head win over the Vikings, I know they're tied right now, but having that head-to-head win's big. However, the rest of the way, you got to think the Eagles have a tougher schedule just because the NFC East is way tougher than the NFC North this year.
No, the Eagles have a easy schedule though.
They got Green Bay at home. They got to go to Dallas.
Next three is Colts, Packers, Titans.
That's actually pretty tough.
Yeah, Colts aren't.
The Colts
are not that bad. Colts are not that bad right now.
Colts, they should absolutely stomp the Colts.
That's a loser mentality. You just said the Colts and the Packers are the Packers have been.
The Packers are better off than the Colts.
They've both been bad though. This season they've been very bad, and the Titans have gotten very lucky.
They've gotten better, yeah.
The Packers thing, and I mean it's just because he's done it so many times. But
and you have
saw some signs of life from Rodgers in the fourth quarter there.
And you guys play the Bears and the Saints. Those are that's 5 games.
Dude, that Saints Eagles game. It's New Year's Day. It's week 18. Even if the Eagles have already clinched, the Eagles. Because they have the Saints' first-round pick, that's going to be a party in that stadium. Them beating the crap out of them to guarantee a higher pick. I mean, that one's going to be a bloodletting.
Let's just say the NFC is a shit show because I'm not even just saying this because you're sitting right here. I think the Bucks can be one of the best teams in the NFC.
Well, I mean, they can get the 4. The beauty of it is if you win that division, you're the 4 seed. You get one home playoff game. You win one, then you get win 2 in a row, and then boom, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean,
because obviously we know Eagles, we know Vikings, they're good, whatever. Giants are third in the NFC. Then it's Dallas. Then after that, Seattle, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Washington. It's a shit show everywhere.
And that gets into something I wanted to bring up as a topic today. Okay, the AFC, you can't fight back if you're under 500 because it's deeper. I mean, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could, but you have to get really, really, really smoking hot because it's a battle. The NFC does not have that depth. Right now, the Cowboys and the Giants are the 2 wild cards. That third one's pretty wide open. Of the teams in the NFC that are under 500, who do y'all think could fight back? I think the Rams are dead. Saints are dead. Green Bay at 4-6 may have some life, but they got a lot of guys out on defense. Rashawn Gary, they've got guys out in the secondary line. I feel like their defense may be a little too beat up. But who's kind of lining the weeds that you don't think is out of it in the NFC? Commanders? I don't think the Commanders. I just think they're headed for they're going to be tough, fight hard, but they're not good enough.
Honestly, the freakiest team on here is Chicago, just because they're going to play a high-scoring brand of ball. I don't think that they're going to be playoff contenders like that, but they are if you look at the whole league right now, especially this past Sunday and the Sunday before, who's the most exciting team in football to watch? I would argue that it's the Chicago Bears.
I mean, KC. Just anytime Patrick Mahomes takes the field.
I think
it's I think if Mahomes is on the field, it's
we didn't really talk about. So Justin Fields has been getting a lot of praise as of late.
Dude, he set the all-time record for most yards rushing by a quarterback in 5 games.
100%. He's one of the most electric quarterbacks right now to watch just because he's rushing like crazy. Yep. He did lose the game last game.
The pick six lost it.
Well, the pick six was.
But I mean, you got to look at this.
It's an extra point.
The Chicago Bears went 0-2 the last 2 weeks, and they've scored 62 points. You can't put that on the quarterback.
No, I'm not, and I'm just saying it's just. But do you think he's definitely their future guy?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, you guys are out. We're gonna have to see. Obviously.
Absolutely. I think right now, if they hadn't traded Quinn and Roquan Smith and just basically OA'd their defense, they might be kind of winning. But they just totally, and I don't blame them for committing to a rebuild. It's a smart move. I like I know Claypool hadn't gotten going too much yet, but I like that move. Look, you're playing the long game, and I get it. But, I mean, they went from a team that was playing 10-7. Remember the Commanders game on Thursday night? What was it, 12-7? And now they're playing like all these shootouts, and I think a lot of that has to do with Fields' progression. And also, do want to compliment Luke Getsy, who I was like so hard on, their offensive coordinator, who they hired as Rodgers' quarterback coach. I feel like the play calling is, they've evolved at the field as skill set.
They've realized.
No, but I mean, he was like trying to drop him back earlier. I was like, what the hell are they doing?
I realized they have a quarterback that could run finally, and they were like, oh, let's do these plays that help him out. But I want to ask you guys.
Yep.
I think I have my answer. Who's your let's go top 5 teams in the entire NFL. And not in order, because I have mine pretty set.
Okay. You lead off while we'll...
I want you guys to go first so I can...
So I think, and this is, I don't think it's that much of a stretch because he played on Sunday, but if Josh Allen is okay, they're the best team in football.
You really think that?
I do, yeah.
Okay. That's my first, but keep going.
2, I would probably put KC or Philly. I probably like Philly a little bit more because when the weather gets colder, you have to run the football, and I'm not sold on KC's run game. 3, I would put KC or Minnesota. Probably KC. I'm not going to buy Kirk Cousins in January. So KC, then I'll put Minnesota. Honestly, actually, before Minnesota, I'm going to put Dallas. I know they lost.
You're missing a huge team, and who I'm high on.
Baltimore, Miami.
You're not high on them?
They're a nice team, but I'm not going to buy. They don't have a defense.
But they have a really they score 40 points a game. They almost don't need the defense.
You will.
I know you will, but like I don't. Will you think that like the Ravens are a better team than the Dolphins?
The Ravens don't have a great defense either. So
my thing on Miami, look,
I would take Buffalo over Miami.
Miami's got to win. Look, if Miami wins the division and they get home playoff games in Miami, they've got a really weird home field advantage down there. It's like a different thing, and Patriots have had trouble down there for years. And I don't know if it's like the Heat thing or the South Florida thing. However, if they don't win the division and they're a wild card and they got to go to KC and Baltimore and Buffalo, like, I don't think that's good for them. I don't think that's rocket scientists to know the South Florida team doesn't want to be up in Buffalo in January. So
they're leading the division.
I do think but they're winning the division now. If they do win that division, they've got a shot to get the Super Bowl. But if they don't, it's going to be, obviously it's going to be hard. Anyone that has to win 3 wild card games in a row, but certain teams are designed for it. And I don't think they're one of them.
So Cheah, I just want to confirm your top 5 teams in the NFL right now are at 1: Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Vikings.
Yes.
Do you have the Cowboys?
I'm gonna go Chiefs 1.
I got Chiefs 1 too.
I'm gonna go Dolphins 2.
Wow.
Bills 3. 4 is Eagles. 5 Vikings.
Okay. I'll go Chiefs 1. I feel like it's the thing with the Chiefs is like they've been good now since 18 for Mahomes. It's like people just take them for granted, but it never stops. They made the Super Bowl 2 of the last 4. They made the AFC Championship the last 4 years. I'll go Chiefs 1. I know that they've had a couple bad losses, but I still believe in Buffalo. I really do. Allen's just got to make a few less mistakes. I'm going to go them 2. Eagles 3. Vikings 4. I'm going to quit. That win at Buffalo is enough to say they're definitely top 5.
I put them in my top 5.
Yeah, they're not a fluke. 5. God, it's tough. I guess I'm between Miami and the Ravens.
You guys aren't believing in the Dolphins. I see it.
I'm going to go Ravens.
And I understand it a little bit, but you have to see they don't lose when they wouldn't have lost if Tua's been playing. Like they've won every game.
Tua's always banged up, and he's had health problems going back to Bama. And until that doesn't become a thing, it's a problem. It's every year. It's concussions, it's hip, it's ankle. And that's, Cheah, you say it all the time, the availability thing.
Yeah.
And he's can he even hold up through the season? I don't know that we know that.
He hasn't held up so far. But, he's healthy right now.
Oh, he's great when he plays.
They're playing good ball.
I think McDaniel's an awesome coach. And, I know that Tyreek and Waddle didn't go off this week, but the thing is people have to over-adjust for Tyreek and Waddle, and it opens everything else up.
There's just so many teams that I don't know if they're good at all. Not the top ones, you have the Jets, you got the Giants, you have, the Patriots, who I don't think are good, but they're 5-4. There's just so many mediocre teams that you're not sure if they're just getting lucky at this point, or they can actually make a push for the playoffs. You know what
Marty,
I mean?
I think the best way to do this exercise in your head as a gambler would be who, on a neutral site, who would be favored over who. And you can kind of go down the list. You say, all right, will the Chiefs be favored over everyone on a neutral field? Yes. Will the Bills be favored over everyone but the Chiefs on a neutral field?
Bills may be favored
Probably,
over
yeah.
KC. Bills were favored at KC when they played the regular season on the road.
But a neutral site, that's like a 3-point swing.
Yeah, but they were favored at KC already a few
I
weeks
guess that's
ago.
true,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I
So
guess
the Bills
that's
are
true.
like -4.
Yeah, but
against KC.
as of right now, though, they might change. Like, even though I know they
I think they'll be a
played already,
slight favorite.
but
way-
it might be slight.
The way the odds go for Super Bowl contenders in the Barstool Sportsbook is Buffalo, KC, Philly, San Francisco, Minnesota.
What's with the
We didn't even
San
talk about the
Francisco
Niners.
just because of like
Christian
the
McCaffrey.
roster? Like just because if you look at it on paper, it's like they have McCaffrey, they got Kittle, they got Debo.
They have like a lethal rushing
The
attack.
other thing with the
do.
Niners is they've got Kyle Shanahan. Like last year, we're talking about a team that almost won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Last year they made the run to the NFC Championship, just missed it. They're not a team you want to play in the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they just are physical. They got a rushing
their-
game D line. And, we didn't even mention them in the top 5 because their record's only 5-4. But they're sitting in a great spot because – and I know you saw the Bucs just beat Seattle, but does anybody, not think Seattle's going to, slightly fade at some point? I know they're pretty good, but I still think the Niners are going to win that division. They already beat them head-to-head, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good, though.
keep doubting the Seahawks, and they kind of just
Yeah,
Seahawks
that
are
was
good, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
So
they're not as good as San Fran.
the San Fran's rest of the schedule is Cardinals, which they should win, but that because the Cardinals suck at home. Saints they'll win. Then it's a Dolphins and Bucks, which is 2 tough back-to-backs. Then Seahawks, Commanders, Raiders, Cardinals. So it's not like too tough.
Bad Seattle games may decide it because they already
Yeah.
beat them at home. If they win that, and they'll have the tie head-to-head if they win that.
So they're under. So their season win total right now, they're 5-4, is 10.5 wins.
Wow.
So they need to churn out 6 more wins.
6 out of 9. That's pretty.
6 more wins to cover that. No, 6 out of 8.
Or 6 out of 8.
Crazy. There's only 8 games left.
Yeah.
Well, the NFL's quick colleges too.
College is done.
College, you look up, it's over. Speaking of that, I've got a quick college rant. I've got to make real quick. All you Auburn fans, Sunday night, Twitter just went nuclear. You got the unnecessary roughness account tweeting out pictures of a dog that looks like Juice Kiffin with Auburn stuff on him. Barstool Auburn saying 11-14-2022 is going to be a day in Auburn history. I didn't see anything happen yesterday because everybody's talking about the Lane Auburn smoke. Today's November 15th, and I didn't see a whole lot happen on November 14th. And look, I may be being naive, but I still got to see Lane going to Auburn to believe it. And that's pretty much what I have to say about it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to hire Hugh Freeze. Time will determine it, but it damn sure wasn't going to get announced during the season. How crazy! If he's going to leave, it's going to be after the Egg Bowl and after the season. Who's going to announce that during the season? So, I mean, Auburn's delusional fan base. That's nothing new. It's always dysfunctional down there, but they do have money and they do have some tradition. But either way, Lane Kiffin not at Auburn yet, despite all these crazy rumors. And I look forward to Brandon. I look forward to Brandon Walker. Me have a $100 bet on the show that he has that Lane will be the next head coach at Auburn. I look forward to Brandon walking in here in a few weeks and paying me that $100 on the air.
All right.
I look forward to it very much. Other stuff to get into. Big night of college basketball tonight, Marty. Huge doubleheader tonight. We've got the early game. It's Kentucky-Michigan State. Kentucky a 6-point favorite. Kentucky number 4, Michigan State unranked. Then between games, the college football updated playoff rankings will be announced. And then the nightcap, Duke and Kansas. Duke a 1-point favorite. This is in Indianapolis tonight. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on these matchups?
So I want to send, for gambling purposes, I need to send a video of what Coach Cal did a little video on his thoughts of the game of Michigan State, and I found it so weird. I'm sending it to Booze right now.
While Marty's sending that, please like and subscribe to the stream. Subscribe to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. Click the like button.
Yeah, listen, college basketball won't pick up until I don't know. Football kills everyone. So
Yeah, but I like the tournaments early in the year.
yeah, no, they're great. So, I mean, Kansas Duke. Bill Self's not coaching tonight because of this 4-game suspension. I don't think that has much to do with it. But I honestly think Duke handles this pretty well tonight. I think Michigan State covers against Kentucky.
6 a lot.
Yeah, 6 is a lot. Michigan State just kind of Like they showed, I know it was outside on a ship, but they played against Gonzaga very well.
Lost by 1.
They're definitely a lot better this year, but college basketball is weird right now. Florida State's 0-3.
Florida lost to Florida Atlantic.
Florida lost, so they're
ECU's number 15. They lost to Northwestern State last night.
ECU. So it's like there's a lot of these big, like Florida State being 0-3. They should have to go to D2.
They lost to Troy at home.
Yeah, and they're not just losing by 1. Like they're losing by. Yeah, look at this video, Coach Cal.
So let me tell everybody, this game against Michigan State is going to be really hard for us to win. We haven't practiced together. Oscar's just starting. Damian was gone. Severe was hurt. But you know what? I can't wait to see where we are against a well-coached team. Tom Izzo's a great friend. Physical game. Let's all be patient with this team. I need to be the first one to be patient.
Tell me that's not so. You want to bet on that guy tonight?
That or he's like bullshitting everybody. It looks like he isn't, though.
That was the most.
It looks like he's like, get off my back. Let me build this team.
That was the most excuse thing I've ever. Oh, Oscar Tshiebwe is like just getting started. Be patient. Like we might lose. It's like what? Don't you find that weird, that video?
Are you guys like Coach Cal guys or no?
No.
I am. I think
not.
he's great. I think what he did at UMass back in the day in Memphis, I mean, he's done some special things.
Have you read that report? Like when he was the head coach of the Nets, he would have an intern call into like radio shows as Anthony from Hoboken and like defend him.
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I did hear that. I did.
It always cracks me up. Like, and we deal with this at Barstool because everything we do is so in the public eye, and obviously, all 3 of us have caught in God knows how much heat. But it's like it amazes me when people, like we've seen it with Kevin Durant, you share the call party, when like really famous people get so shook when the public eye's against them.
Yeah,
like, they're people too.
Yeah,
100%. They don't like the backlash, but it's
Hugh Freeze freaking DM'd me before.
Yeah,
about it, saying stuff's not true.
yeah.
It's just weird to hear that video, and like if you're betting Kentucky tonight, I don't know how you could feel comfortable doing that.
Laying 6. And then Michigan State, like, is known for being that underdog. Like, that's what they live for. That feisty, scrappy underdog, muck the game up, all that.
But college basketball's here to wrap up college because there's going to be there's not like it's not just Gonzaga this year. It's like Gonzaga will be not as dominant as they've always been. I don't think they're going to be good, obviously, because their conference fucking sucks. But Texas is going to be really good. Duke, Kentucky, all those Virginia's going to be very, very good.
Okay, they're back because they kind of fell off last
San Diego State's going to be a team like lower tier to watch out for. It's just there's a lot of good. This transfer portal has made everyone a lot better. And Arkansas is someone.
That's what I was going to say. Arkansas, the hype on them, and they're in the Maui tournament next week. That Kansas is in it. Arkansas is in it. I feel like there's a lot of hype on this being the year for Arkansas. Weren't they like 13-1 or something? I mean,
yeah, it's like they're the second best recruiting class this year. Like Duke got the number 1 and 2 guy, and then they got the 3 guy. And Nick Smith.
He's from Little Rock.
Yeah, he hasn't played yet, but supposedly they're going to be really, really good. I just don't know how Arkansas is going to react to being like that team,
I think Musselman's the right guy, though.
He is, because, I mean,
they got a great – that's a hard place to win when that place is rocking in Bud Walton.
It's fucking crazy.
Their fans are nuts. How good so Houston's number 3. I keep reading online on Twitter, people think they're the best team.
Yeah, Houston's really fun. He might be the best college coach there is right now.
Yeah. Kevin Sampson.
He might be the best coach in college.
Well, look, it feels like looking at these rankings, no one knows anything.
No one does.
Illinois, that's what it kind of feels like.
Big Ten will be okay this year. Illinois is going to be really good with their 2 transfers, McCullough and Matthew Meyer from Baylor. Like they're going to be very good. It's open this year, which I like. I think it's going to be a fucking chaos year. No one has seen this amount of teams lose this early either. Like big name schools.
I'm looking forward to getting the tournament started. I know that Thanksgiving week's the big week for that.
Thanksgiving, yep. And then like right after that, like once conference starts and college football's over, it's just not college basketball's best because it's on every day, every single day, and it's no matter if there's shitty games or not. And I'm telling you guys, take these big.
No, you got a theory, and I saw the tweet from Roundball. You're up 10 units so far, 9 point something.
Yeah.
And what I've been noticing with Marty's strategy, and you're taking these huge favorites, but I remember you said this before in football. It's like, yeah, they're favored by 25 now, but if the game was in 7 weeks, it'd be 35.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of what you're saying.
Like Miami tonight's -31. Miami's sneaky going to be a lot better this year.
Larinaga's a good coach.
Yeah, and that people think. And, I mean, they went to the Elite Eight last year, and no one really expected that. And I take them tonight. Like those teams, Vegas doesn't know how to – you can't put the spread to 60. You just can't. But these teams are winning by 60 because these other small schools are so bad. Yeah. Like, that's just not even being a better basketball team. That's just they're more athletic. They're more talented.
You know what's also interesting, and you mentioned the transfer portal thing, I feel like that's going to cause bigger ass whippings because nowadays, like, these bigger schools can just get sophomores and juniors that are – you just play – I mean, you see in football, too. You just plug these guys in starters. You don't have to develop them.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, anytime these G5 or mid-majors have good players, they just get plucked by the Power 5, and they're just starting for
The
it.
thing with college basketball, like Hunter will talk about, it's like – because we always talk about how Gonzaga plays everyone in November, and no one knows how you are in November in basketball because he's always saying, like, they don't even know what their rotation is yet. They're still trying to figure out what group of guys is going to go out there and what their 1 through 7 is going to be, you know? Like, they're still trying to figure out who's going to be the one who steps up or whatever. So that's why early on these way shittier schools have no idea what's going on. So you got to take the big favorites.
All right. A couple things on college football. I looked through the lines and just a few early, you feel like it's like a process. You see the lines the first time of the week. You see what stands out. There were a few that just stood out off the table to me. Did you see the LSU UAB line, Marty?
No.
LSU's only 14.5. Real short line in Death Valley this weekend. Makes me feel, I mean, it makes sense. LSU just played 5 straight SEC games. They've locked up the West. This is like a game you go through the motions. UAB will fight. They beat BYU in a bowl game last year. They've been one of the best programs in Conference USA for a while. That line felt short, though. I thought it'd be 17-20. And then the Auburn line. Auburn just had the emotional win over A&M with Cadillac. Auburn's got Bama next week. Auburn a 5.5-point favorite over Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky may win that game, especially because Auburn doesn't have like a lot of firepower on offense. A couple other observations to look at. Ohio State and Michigan next week. We all know it's going to be at stake. They're both going to be undefeated. The winner's going to the Big Ten championship game. Winner's going to the playoff. Winner's basically locking up a playoff berth. This week, they both have look-at spots. Michigan a 17.5-point favorite over Illinois, who certainly's fallen off with losses to Michigan State and Purdue the last 2 weeks. And then Ohio State's laying 27.5 at Maryland because Maryland's gotten just hell beaten out of them at Wisconsin and Penn State the last 2 weeks. But kind of be on your guard. I think it might be a week to take the points against Ohio State and Michigan just because they both have those monster games next week. And then those are the lines that look weird. The Ole Miss-Arkansas one's got me terrified too. Ole Miss a 3-point favorite at Arkansas off the heartbreaking loss to Bama. It's a night game. It's probably going to be freezing cold in Arkansas up in the mountains. Waiting to see what KJ Jefferson's status is because if he'd have played last week, they'd have beaten LSU. I mean, literally, Arkansas was just inept on offense last week.
Did I already see that Georgia LSU is
15.5.
15.5.
And then Clemson's like a 6-point favorite over North Carolina in the ACC title game.
Clemson's done though, right? They're not going to get in.
I don't think they can get in. I think when you look at the playoff picture, TCU, if they go undefeated, is getting in.
I mean, listen,
they're getting in.
You guys, I've heard a lot about how TCU's just not good. Like they're going to get exposed.
Their defense played awesome the other night.
Each fucking week they keep winning, and I know they're hurting the quarterback, but Texas, everyone's like, "Oh,
that defensive effort was spectacular."
Yeah, like I think you got to respect them at some point.
Marty, I 100% agree with you. They have the best resume in the country. Their strength of record, according to ESPN, is number 1. They have done nothing but prove people wrong, including me. I would put them number 1 tonight.
Yeah, it's like
they have the best resume.
They're beating real.
I don't think you put them number 1 out of Georgia.
Best resume in the country by strength of record. I'd put them number 1.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I mean, honestly,
I get 2, but Georgia.
By power rating, do I think they're better than Georgia? No. Do I think they've accomplished the most this year? Yes, they should be number 1.
But if that's what the committee is, you're right. I mean, I understand what you mean. Like, okay, Georgia, who have they beaten?
Georgia demolishing Tennessee and then demolishing Mississippi State on the road. I mean, State's not good, but man, beating them 45-19.
But their biggest wins are what? Oregon, Tennessee.
Yeah, but those are. And I know Oregon just got beat.
But then look at tell me
TCU's got so much depth.
Almost all of TCU's wins are top 50 wins.
That's Ebo's point, is that they haven't. That all their wins are good, even SMU.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, obviously, awesome team, unbelievable. They'd be favored by maybe like 9-10 points over TCU on a neutral field, but I think TCU has accomplished more in terms of their resume.
Yeah.
So guessing tonight, like I said, the playoff rankings will come out tonight between games, the college basketball games in Indy. I think it's going to be Georgia 1. Do y'all think Ohio State 2 or TCU 2?
They'll probably leave it 1-2, Georgia, Ohio State.
Will
maybe
Michigan
put TCU 3 and then Michigan 4.
They'll put Michigan 4, yeah. I think they'll have to put what was TCU 4 before this?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to put them 3 and then Michigan 4 just to give them a bump a little bit.
Bigger picture of playoffs, though. I mean, it looks like it's kind of starting to be set up to where if Georgia does beat LSU, Georgia, TCU, if they win out, which is a big if, they got Baylor. They got a tough game at Baylor this week. I know Baylor got smoked last week by K-State, but Baylor's the rivalry game. TCU's only a 3-point favorite. But hypothetically, it looks like Georgia, TCU, the Ohio State-Michigan winner, and then Tennessee is the one-loss team sneaking in, is what I think it looks like right now. Pac-12 just screwed themselves. Oregon losing, UCLA losing. I don't know if USC at one loss even can get in at this point. I mean, they could, but
we were talking about how they were the Pac-12. Like they're gonna get it. Like they're gonna.
They always screw themselves.
They always beat each other up at the end of the season.
I'm curious too. I think UCLA still might beat USC this week, even after that horrible loss.
Wait, who do you think the 4 is gonna be?
I think it's Georgia.
Uh-huh.
If TCU wins out, TCU, the winner of Ohio State, Michigan, and I think Tennessee at 11-1 with their only loss being to Georgia is the 4.
I think Tennessee's definitely gonna be in.
I think Tennessee, if it comes down to a one-loss-a-thon with Tennessee, USC, Clemson, all that, I think Tennessee, even not as a conference champion, if Georgia wins the SEC and your only loss is to Georgia,
you're in.
I think you're in.
Yeah. So, Mincy, what's your 4 teams going to the playoff right now?
As of right now, Georgia, TCU, Ohio State, Tennessee.
So if TCU loses,
I don't think USC is going to win out anyway. They're going to lose to UCLA or Oregon.
If TCU loses, who's the other team that gets in?
That's where it gets real fun and interesting, because then the argument comes in: does one loss Pac-12 champ USC get in? Does one loss ACC champ Clemson get in, or does the loser of Ohio State Michigan get in?
So if the Ohio State blows out Michigan, they'll be out. But how do you not put it? Like, do you think they just fucking love Clemson so much they'll put them in?
I don't know, man. Clemson just looked. That loss was so bad.
If it's over them, USC or Clemson, I think it should be USC.
Yeah, well, USC. If USC has one loss, they lost by 1 point at Utah. Clemson's lost. I mean, we saw what happened to Notre Dame to Clemson. That's a much worse loss. And also, I think the Pac-12 is a little stronger than the ACC. I think the ACC
definitely is
pretty weak. But I'd say right now, Tennessee's sitting in the best spot of the one-loss teams, though. And they've got at South Carolina and Vandy left. I mean,
if they lose any of those, they don't deserve it. But
South Carolina's horrible.
I think Georgia and Tennessee and winner of Ohio State, Michigan's definitely in.
The thing is, though, I don't think the playoff committee will do Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, and Michigan. That'd look really bad if
they
two
wouldn't.
SEC, 2 Big Ten, and then you shut out 3 conferences. If TCU loses, though, I mean, Ebo, actually want to ask you this. You think TCU's case is so strong, hypothetically, TCU loses to Baylor this week, beats Iowa State, wins the Big 12. Does one-loss TCU as a Big 12 champ beat out one-loss Tennessee?
No.
I don't think so.
Not Tennessee.
I think TCU has accomplished a ton. I just don't think that they are going to get in because of their power rating. I don't think people view them as a great team, whereas people view Tennessee as a great team.
But, Ebo, I'm not saying they beat out Tennessee, but as one-loss teams as well, do you think they can still sneak their way in as a 4th team if they lose one game?
I think it's really hard.
Like USC over TCU?
Yeah, I think just on pedigree alone, USC would probably get in with a one loss.
So if USC,
because they already have their one loss, so they'd run the table, get a conference championship game win over likely Utah or Oregon. So that's another top 15 win for them. So I think it'd be really hard.
Yeah, and their loss being a 1-point loss at Utah is not that bad. Like I mentioned a second ago, the Clemson loss is just so much worse.
One team I know for a fact won't get in, but they are incredible, and Brandon trashed them last week. But UNC, their only loss is is Notre Dame, who has proven to be better than we thought. They had a few slip-ups at the beginning of the year.
ACC
but
is a joke.
No,
Yeah, it is
Drake,
crazy.
But the Drake May Heisman thing, he's 4-1 now.
Yes, he is.
You just
4-1.
want to jerk off him. You love Drake May.
I mean, he's unquestionable 1-1 next year. He's the best player in the country.
What is he right now?
He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, he'd leave after sophomore year. But he's so updated Heisman odds. I mean, he's, number 3 behind Stroud and Hooker?
Yeah, he's on pace. So expected points added is a way of measuring player efficiency. If he keeps up this pace, he'll completely blow the record that Joe Burrow set out of the water.
I think Hooker's going to get it.
Do you?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's kind of set up to where, if Stroud goes off against Michigan, I think he gets it. But he has to go off. I mean, he has to, have 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think Hooker deserves it, though. I mean, I just think, Stroud's really good, but Ohio State's got so many good guys, and they play a crappy skit,
Yeah,
I don't know.
They really nobody. They really haven't played. Who's the best?
I mean, Notre Dame's their best win, right?
Yeah.
Is there any chance for Marvin Harrison Jr. to get the Heisman?
See, I almost think that's what hurts Stroud, too, is because he's got such elite guys.
Yeah.
Marty, you picked. Did you pick Caleb Williams preseason?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 10-1 now. I mean, there's still a shot for him too.
Still, if they win out and they win the Pac-12, I mean, for sure. He's unbelievable.
He's not the problem with USC. I just don't trust their defense.
No.
They don't have a killer instinct either. The way they let these crappy teams hang around every week, and I know they finally covered against Colorado, but
yeah,
they just have this thing where they barely beat all these teams they should beat by 4 or 5 touchdowns, and I think that I don't know. We'll see. The USC, Ebo, do you have any thoughts on USC-UCLA this week? I mean, that was a horrible. I mean, to call that a horrible loss for UCLA is not near doing it justice.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into the games much for this upcoming week, but I mean, it's probably going to be a shootout.
Yeah, the over/under was 75. It was.
Yeah,
I think USC was USC was a 1.5 point favorite at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a game that's probably going to be 37-35, similar to every game UCLA has played. So
that's fair. So Mr. Cheah, have you looked at any of the NFL matchups yet for this week? I know it's early on Tuesday.
Not the matchups. I have a couple futures that I thought that have some good value.
Yeah.
This one's painful because I thought this team was a dark horse to win the division. I was very wrong. I'm okay admitting that. The Texans right now are 1-7-1. Their over/under win total is 2.5.
Jesus.
They're bad.
If you're betting the under 2.5 wins, it's plus 149. Here's their schedule. They play home against Washington, at Miami, versus Cleveland, which could actually be a sneaky win just because of the Deshaun Watson thing. Yeah. So we'll see. At Dallas versus Kansas City, at Tennessee versus Jacksonville, which is a shot at a win. They already beat Jacksonville already this year. And then at Indy, 2.5. So they need 2 wins out of that group. And that's assuming they beat Cleveland. If they don't beat Cleveland, they need to beat Jacksonville
or Washington at home. I know Washington looked good last night, but they may be catching them in a good spot this week off that win.
I don't know. I think that's good value at plus 149 to go the under.
And they're probably. I mean, I haven't seen enough out of Mills to think he's a franchise guy. They probably would like to tank and get a quarterback.
I know no one cares about this, but I have you 2 fantasy people here.
Okay.
Tell me my team's not the best thing you've ever heard.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley.
Marty, send it to me.
I have no idea how.
Take a screenshot and just DM it to Pink Central.
Oh, but then there's my bench. But I'll say Saquon, Kenneth Walker, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase.
Hurt right now, but yeah.
Juju Smith, Thielen, Njoku,
sucks he's hurt.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Allen's lost here because I've had him. That's a good squad.
It's a good squad. You're dealing with some injuries with Jamar Chase.
Keenan Allen's supposed to come back.
He's
been supposed to come back. Yeah.
This one, it really seems like it. But do you play Keenan Allen right away?
If he's playing, yeah, especially against KC.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back.
Night.
I need him
That's
too.
Sunday night,
I need him in mine too. Spot. How long are you hearing Cooper Kupp? They're saying high ankle sprain.
He just got moved to IR in fantasy, so.
I just feel like it's a spot where the Rams went all in and won the Super Bowl, and Stafford's got this concussion. I know they don't have a first-round pick, but, what's the point of him coming back in Week 15?
Right.
At all.
Right.
I mean, he gave them everything Just shut it down. I hate that, though. I hate him saying that.
Yeah.
But, you think there's a chance he doesn't play again this year?
Certainly. I mean, yeah, if you're also, I think from a Rand's perspective, it's like, all right, let's see what we got with these young guys. And, they will
it's
have that
surgery.
time.
Jeez. Minimum 4 weeks. I think he's done. God, that's a killer.
Another injury update. Dallas Goedert, tight end for the Eagles, after that egregious face mask call that was not called, he is now going to miss multiple weeks with a shoulder injury.
Damn.
Oof.
That's not good. Is A.J. Brown anything on A.J. Brown?
I haven't heard anything. I mean, he was smiling after the game last night, so, I mean, I assume he's okay, but I guess we'll see as the week goes on.
It was non-contact, so it didn't look great, but then, he came back in for that touchdown, right?
Definitely not one of the best receivers in the league, but he's a good one.
Beg to differ.
Please like and subscribe to the stream. Let's get to our picks for tonight. Marty, you've been doing pretty good in the college hoops.
Yes, but first, can I do
the
my
F-It Fireball?
F-It Fireball pick of the day?
Free your fire.
Free your fire, F-It Fireball pick of the day, and there's going to be someone in the booth very excited for this pick. I got James Madison -11 for the pick of the F-It pick of the day. What do you think about that, Ebo?
Booze is going to love that pick. Zaz, fellow Duke, he's loving it. He's literally back here clapping.
Zaz besides himself.
I don't know if you can see him,
No. I got up because
he's just jumping up and down. He can't stop. Okay, no need to put the camera on us.
I thought you were going to talk about the real James Madison. The guy going to the World Cup. No one cares. No one cares about JMU.
Marty, we're sneaky good.
No, I know you are.
I've talked myself into beating UNC on Sunday, especially after you said that they're not that good.
They're not as good as everyone says. But my picks today, I got Providence -24, Louisville -5. Louisville really needs to win since their loss. Michigan State +6, JMU -11, Miami -31.5, UNC -22, Eastern Michigan +6.
That's football or basketball?
Basketball.
Okay, because they're +7.5 in football, so it could be confusing.
Didn't know that. Duke -1. That's all basketball.
Okay. My picks for today, I went over 229 in Grizzlies Pelicans. I really crossed my fingers with the Ja Zion thing. And the next few years, I think Memphis New Orleans could be great Southern basketball rivalry. I'm hoping the next few years. I think it could be fun. Took Kent State by 7.5. I'm actually going to yank Kansas and instead go Ohio in MAC football by 3.5. Have any of y'all seen the Ohio quarterback play? Maction?
No.
He's unreal. He's like the most accurate quarterback in the country. He's ridiculous. So I'm just going to bet Ohio in the MAC every week because what I've seen out of him has kind of blown me away. Kansas, the Bill Self thing being out, I forgot about that. I'm going to yank it because of that. Mr. Cheah, you got anything for us today?
Yeah, so the prop that is my play of the day, and this is the only one I count against my personal record because this is what I'm putting out publicly. Julius Randle over combined 32.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists. That line is up to 33.5 now. I still like it at that. Over that, I'm not going to budge. A couple other ones. From that game, Jordan Clarkson over 2.5 3-pointers. He shoots it way better from 3 at home. And then Anfernee Simons, potentially the most fun guy to bet on in the NBA. All this guy does is chuck threes. All he does is chuck threes. He's shooting 11 threes a game.
What? 11
threes a game. His over-under is 3.5 3-pointers made. He shoots it better from 3 at home, and he shoots a higher volume at home, 10.8 a game this season. Anfernee Simons over 3.5 threes. I like against San Antonio, who struggles to defend the 3. And I also like Anfernee Simons over 19.5 points.
Spurs suck, right?
Spurs, they're a little frisky this year, but defending the 3 ball, they're not good, and defense-wise, they're pretty whatever. But their record is not terrible. They're in the playoff picture.
I feel like the NBA is just like, I don't know why I can't get into it.
It has the feel of it. It feels like it doesn't start till Christmas.
Yes, right?
But it does.
No,
I mean, it definitely matters, but it feels like it's preseason till Christmas, and then the Christmas things happens, and it's like the schedule. Like, it's Christmas till April.
If you're betting on it, especially props, the lines are the softest they are going to be right now. So
it's just crazy. There's a lot of teams where you're like, okay, let's look. The Lakers are 3-10. Like the Nets are 6-8. The Warriors are 6-8.
Yeah, the Warriors are struggling.
A lot of good teams.
Jazz are winning.
Jazz are 10-5.
Yeah,
Jazz are great.
I just put a future on the Jazz to win the title the other day.
That's an Ebo. Ebo, didn't you bet at the beginning of the season that they make the playoffs pretty high?
Who was that? The Jazz? Yeah, I currently have 25-1, 11-1, and 5-1.
You have 25-1 on them to make the playoffs?
Yep.
They were supposed to be one of the worst teams, though, right? Like, supposed to be?
I also have 7-1 to make the play-in as like a bit of insurance if they kind of falter. I think they still can be a 10 at worst.
Love it.
There you go. That does look pretty damn good.
They're also like a fun team to watch. They play basketball the right way. They move the ball.
You know who's fun to watch? The Magic. They have...
And Paolo's healthy as a spring nickel right now.
Paolo, but like Bull on that team.
Yeah.
He's they're so young, but they're fun to watch. They'll be good soon, but not anytime soon.
All right, reminder, Barstool College Football Show live from Toledo. The Glass Bowl tonight, 5:30 Eastern. Tomorrow, live from Northern Illinois. 4:30 is Maction Week. Check out the new Stella Blue coffee. Big Cat just launched. I just had the light roast. Positive vibes only. I enjoyed it. It's good stuff. Check it out, though. Support Big Cat. Love the brand. Anything? I know y'all got the act coming up. Anything you excited about today?
We're going to talk about the World Cup. We got our team drawings yesterday, and I'm learning about soccer. I'm going to be into this.
Should.
We can win a monster prize if our team wins. So
crazy at the World Cup.
España.
It's so weird that it's in November. I like when it's in summer, when it's like not
Is
much.
it not normally this time?
Usually it's in June. It's only here because Qatar, the heat. It's usually like summer, and it's way better.
Why are they having guitar though?
because FIFA's corrupt and they gave a crap ton of money. That's why they're having a guitar. All right, stay tuned. The Yak is up next. Thanks to our crew, Booze, Evo, Zah. Appreciate all y'all. Stephen Cheah, appreciate you sitting in. Marty Bush, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned for the Yak.